Now the second step of color matching is going to be matching your black point and white points to make a composite more realistic. Let's take a look at that now. Alright, so previously I brought Todd in here and I made a color blend mode to make him a little more blue, making him as if he really were in this backdrop of this sunset. Okay, now we're going to change the white point and black point of Todd and match the white point and black point to that of the background image. I'm going to Command 0 to bring him to full canvas. First, we're going to group Todd Color and Todd Original into one folder. So I'm going to click the top one, then Shift click the bottom one. You can either drag that down to that little folder on the bottom of your screen, the layer panel, or you can do right mouse button, create group, group from layers. Group from layers. It puts them into a folder. Let's name that folder Todd. There's the folder. Now we're going to come down to the adjustment layers and we're going to choose curves. Okay, so you go down to the adjustment layer button at the bottom of your layer panel and choose curves, which is kind of near the top. Before we play around with this though, we do need to clip this to the folder. We only want this curves layer to impact Todd, not the backdrop. Okay, so notice this right here in the histogram, this level here. That's going to change when we go right mouse button, create clipping mask. Notice the change. Now that's showing you the lights and darks of only Todd, right? Because we're going to map the white point and the black point from this onto Todd. So we only want this curves adjustment layer to affect Todd. Okay, the only thing we're going to be concerned with is the white point, rather the black point here, and the white point on the bottom. So click the eyedropper here. You may want to move this out and kind of to the side here. Let's get that black point eyedropper. And let's click on something black in the background image. Remember, not on Todd himself, because that would just be doing his own black point. He already has that, right? We're mapping the black and white point from this background image onto Todd. Now watch what happens to Todd when I click on here. Okay, slightly more contrast. You see that? Let me undo. Watch Todd as I click the black point here. Okay, I clicked on something black over here with black point. It added more contrast, made his hair darker. White won't do much in this particular case, but let's go ahead and do it anyway. It's hard to find something pure white in the backdrop. Okay, you can come here and watch what happens to Todd. Doesn't look that good, right? So undo that. Let's find something else here, possibly. Watch what happens to Todd. Let's go in a little closer. Command ++. Use the space bar to access the hand tool temporarily. If I click into the sunburst here, Todd gets slightly more yellow, but not much happened. I'll click again to reset that. Not much happened, but we do see that the black point helps. So Command 0 to bring back to full canvas. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put that there. So the last thing we need to do is to make this curves layer a luminosity blend mode. Okay, so we come back down here to our color related blend modes here, and we're going to change that to luminosity. Let's check before and after. Not much difference, it's very subtle, but you see we're another step closer to making Todd a little more realistic in this backdrop. He was with Bunsen, he started out indoors, now we've brought him outdoors, and as always you're constantly playing with these to check the original with the new layers. Notice here too you could play with opacity, but it's already so subtle you don't really need to do that. Sometimes it's more dramatic when you do black point and white point because they're very different. The white points were kind of similar between Todd and the background image. Sometimes this makes a big difference. In this case, just a slight difference.